guys, it's Olivia and welcome back to Live in Literature. Thank you so much for the love and support I received on my last video, and if you have not seen it yet, feel free to head on over to my channel to check it out. Well guys, I'm so happy to be back here with you today in the middle of August. We are almost wrapping up with this month, which is insane because we are about to start our official autumn fall season. I am absolutely excited, so excited to get into all of the gothic, spooky, fall-y kind of books, like the monsters and the romances and just all the good juicy things this fall. I know a lot of people on Book Talk are already starting their fall TBRs. I'm trying to hold off just a little bit longer for it just to get a little bit crisper in the air, but I am literally looking forward to it so much. There are so many incredible releases coming out this fall and I'm absolutely so excited. So again, I'm so happy you guys enjoyed last week's video. I had a lot of fun making it. It was a really fun one to film. Hope y'all are getting some great spicy recommendations on getting cracked down and whatnot. And y'all are having a fantastic end of summer, entering fall era. I am so excited for today's video because this whole thing was started, as you've seen from the title. We are talking about Mermaid / Siren book recommendations. Mermaid / Siren book recommendations, okay?
I can see we have to take this slowly. Mermaid.
And I'm so excited for this topic because it's been a while since I have made a video. I think the last time that I made a video like this was potentially last year, but honestly, I was looking through my old TBR list because I keep track of like all the books that I've read over the past, since like 2020, I've been tracking all the books that I read every year. And I was looking back on my TBR in 2021, and that was the year of the pirate, Siren, mermaid, like fantasy era. Like all I was reading was seafaring novels. I had like at least 4 or 5 like on that list of very much like swashbuckling pirate seafaring novels. And like I love a pirate recommendation. Like love pirates. Pirates are sexy. You know who I'm talking about. I'm just gonna insert a little clip right here for you. Yeah, Mr. Sexy Killian Jones. Y'all do not want even to mess with me when it comes to Killian Jones for Once Upon a Time, okay? That's my pirate. But I absolutely love the pirate trope. I love seafaring. I love like books on boats. Like I love that concept, love the idea of it. But I recently read, this is getting into what I just finished reading versus what I'm currently reading. I just finished reading one of the greatest romantic books that I have read this entire year, and that is In the Veins of the Drowning by Callie Cassidy. This is by far one of the best gothic dark romanticities that I have read this whole year. It is absolutely fantastic, and it is a siren novel, and we will be getting into that in today's video. We will get more and more into that as we continue on this video. But this is the book that started it all. And so then it got me to thinking, when was the last time that I read a siren novel, and what are my siren / mermaid like book recommendations for the public? Now, I have to be honest with you. I was specifically looking for mermaid / siren. I have a lot of swashbuckling and pirate themed novels.
That's got to be the best pirate I've ever seen. So it would seem.
That I absolutely adore and love. And if you would like to see another video on some swashbuckling pirate adventures, please feel free to comment that down below if you'd love to see that video again. But this one's going to be specifically about mermaids and sirens and just how much I love them and how I just love that the mythology is like coming back up. I feel like obviously, as we know, and especially in the fantasy world, tropes go in and out of style. Last year, I'd say, was the year of the vampire. This year so far, from what I've been seeing from the book world, is lady knights. Like the lady knight, medieval knight has been like a huge forefront of fantasy novels. So many fantasy novels are now focusing on the lady knight, especially a lot of the novels that are coming out this fall, which I'm absolutely so excited to read. And a great example of that is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, one of my favorite, all-time favorite books of this year. Quite literally has knocked all other books out of the park by how fabulous it is. But that's a trend I've been seeing. And then also, I think that we're going to start seeing an uptick of siren / mermaid fantasy books, which I am absolutely so here for. Because again, like I said, I had an uptick in 2021 of my consumption of pirate-themed novels. And then it took a downturn and I haven't read too many since. And I get a couple here and there, but I feel like this upturn of this siren novel is going to be the catalyst to start a whole plethora of mermaid siren themed books. And I am absolutely so here for it, especially if they're anything like how amazing this book was. But before we get into the siren themed novels, I want to talk about what I am currently reading. Guys, I am a fickle woman, okay? My tastes change all the time, okay? Like the winds of change, as they say, okay?
Do you hear that? It's the winds of change. You hear it? You hear the winds of change? What a creep.
Like, I'm very much like a mood reader. I very much read like what I am in the mood for. Even if I say like, oh, I'm gonna have to read this one, I still, listen, BK Borison for first time caller, still haven't read it. I am a fraud. I am a fraud, okay?
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
So I'm just very much a mood reader. I just kind of like when the mood strikes me, that's what I read. But I will say that I am currently in a book club with my roommate. She and I signed up for a proper book club at one of the local bookstores in our area. Very, very exciting. And my roommate is a big mystery thriller girl. She loves mystery thriller books. And so she selected a mystery thriller for our first book club, like official book club. And so I am currently reading Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. This is essentially a murder mystery where a girl on Halloween is an attempted murder is on her life. Like somebody attempts to kill her. She wakes up in the hospital and they tell her that she in 7 days is going to have an aneurysm that will essentially kill her and there's nothing they can do about it. And so she decides with her last 7 days of life that she is going to find her killer and solve her own murder before she's dead. So I'm loving the premise of this so far. I'm quite literally only just got to chapter 2. So I just barely started this book, but it's already like absolutely terrifying. Mystery thrillers aren't like normally my cup of tea. I do enjoy them every now and again. I usually prefer them more like in October or just like, I'm more for like a gothic kind of spookiness. This is definitely a modern thriller mystery, but I'm absolutely so excited for the challenge and to read something a little bit outside of my comfort zone and just to like mix things up and shake things up a bit. So that is just what I finished reading and what I am currently reading now to get into our Siren novels. Like I said, I have a couple of recommendations for you today. I'm going to be going from my least favorite to most favorite of these Siren recommendations. The lowest star rating for a least favorite is going to be 3 stars, and then they're each going to keep growing up from there on the star ratings, essentially. So it'll be like 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and then 5. Of course, as you know, is pretty obvious. But again, I absolutely would recommend any of these books. They're all great. If we're trying to dip our toes into some Siren novels, if there are any amazing Siren recommendations that you guys have for me, please feel free to comment them down below. I'm kind of living for this new sexy trope. But regardless, without further ado, let's get into the video. The first one we're starting with at a 3-star rating is going to be Beneath Cruel Fathoms by Anella Dean. This is the Bittersea Trilogy Book 1. I ended up not purchasing the rest of this trilogy. I'm sure the rest of the trilogy is fabulous and has gotten better. I'm assuming that this is like a first time writing for this author and or like a pretty early in their discography of books. But regardless, I did enjoy this book because this one has to do with a merman, which I do live for the merman trope. Listen, I love myself a mermaid, like Little Mermaid vibes, like absolutely. But there's something about a merman, like...
Hi, Barbie!
Oh, okay. Hi, Ken.
Shirtless and like with the big tail and like usually they've got great hair. Like mermen are like kind of more terrifying in a way and just like I like absolutely live. So this one's really fun because of that reason. So we have a young woman named Isora, and Isora is on a ship. Her ship crashes. She is stranded adrift in the middle of the ocean. She thinks she's going to die. A merman rescues her. His name's Lionel. And essentially he rescues her and he's like, in exchange for your rescue, he's like, you have to help me figure out what's going on with the ocean. He's like, there are horrible storms and currents and seas. He's like, and I think the magic is coming from your island where you live. And she's like, okay, I'll help you figure it out if there is something. And it turns out that the new lord who is ruling her island is the one who's controlling these terrible storms. So Lionel and Isora have to essentially team up together to stop this man from causing these massive wreckages and essentially like bring peace to both these kingdoms. So Isora and Lionel, very sexy, very fun. I do, again, like I said, I love a male merman. I think it's really fun trope. I think that Lionel, again, like I also love a distinct difference between customs, especially with like sea creatures and like land walkers, as they say in this one. So like I love a distinct like separation between the two. And I love when there's a little bit of like, not a language barrier, but like a cultural barrier. Like I think that's a really cute trope. It kind of does, again, gives Little Mermaid where she's like wearing the mast as a dress, like very much like she does not know what is culturally appropriate.
You look great, kid. You look sensational.
So I also love some of that, and I think that's really cute and sweet to see in this like little romance. So again, merman meets woman, very sexy, very fun. 3 stars for me for Beneath Cruel Fathoms. The next one I want to recommend at 3.5 stars is a fabulous book that I genuinely do recommend to everyone. This is Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. Skin of the Sea is essentially about a young woman named Simi, and she's a mermaid or a siren, and she essentially goes by the name of like the goddess, the patron goddess that she worships, named Mamiwata. Mamiwata is essentially like the label that all of her like patron servants are given, and they essentially, what they do when people die in the ocean, they essentially find their bodies and send them back, like help them like depart and like separate them into the spirit world. And essentially like that's the decree, that's the rule, that any bodies they find in the ocean immediately get sent to Mamiwata, back up into the creator, and like essentially like souls are separated, bodies are disposed of, and like that's their job, is to help people on their journey. But these women who become Mamiwata essentially like give up their entire identities to become this person and to like be this like patron saint, essentially like is sending these souls off to their like destinies. So one day while she's out and about swimming, a living boy falls into the waters, and she essentially rescues him, going against everything that her culture has taught her, going against her goddess and all these things. And essentially she has to find her way to the supreme creators and essentially plead her case as to why she should not be like removed from this great task that she's been given, and to prove that she did do something right because the boy was living. But essentially like that's not how it works in her culture, and she should have like sent him on his way to the creator and like moved him along within the afterlife and stuff. So this is a really like interesting concept of mermaid. This is a very like religious and like a very like tricksy political kind of type of mermaid situation. Like you're dealing with old gods, and you're dealing with patron saints who are trying to serve the afterlife, but also like trying to give life to people. And Simi and this boy end up teaming up to like work together to help her find the supreme creator, but also to essentially like find her own identity. So yeah, I absolutely loved this book. I thought it was fabulous when I read it. I think it's an amazing YA fiction for the mermaid trope. I also think it's a really interesting take on mermaids that you don't see very often, which I find absolutely refreshing, because when we can do something so different with mermaids, I absolutely love it. I love when we can like change the trope a little bit. We can like do new things, have exciting things with it. And I absolutely love this version of the mermaid trope and the siren trope. It's absolutely fabulous in my opinion. So please go read Skin of the Sea. The next one at 4 stars, but also kind of 5-ish, let's be real. This was one of my favorite books last year in the like very silly romantasy kind of situation. I kind of talked about this book. I talked about how I cried when I read this book. I was definitely going through something when I was reading this, okay? Like,
He's crazy.
I don't know how accurate it is, but I do remember absolutely enjoying this book and eating it up within an inch of its life. We have A Duet with the Siren Duke by Elise Kova. And you guys know that Elise Kova is one of my favorite, like, hey, if you are in need of a quick fantasy, just a quick fix, something sweet, something romantic, and something like slightly cozy-ish, you read the Married to Magic series by Elise Kova, okay? This is the 4th book in the Married to Magic series by Elise Kova. Each book is a standalone novel about different fantasy creatures. The first 2 books are about the Fae. The 3rd one is about vampires. This one's about mermaids, and the last one is about werewolves. So each of them takes place within like the same kingdom, but each story is its own individual thing that they're dealing with. And this one obviously has to do with a sexy merman, a Siren Duke, the Siren Duke. Woo!
Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
So, to give you guys a quick plot summary of A Duet with the Siren Duke, we have our young woman, Victoria. She is trapped in a very toxic marriage. She's trying to escape her husband. They're alone on an island together, like essentially like he's the keeper of the lighthouse. It's very toxic. She tries to run away one night and get on a boat and escape. Her ship crashes. She is trying to like survive and not drown. The Siren Duke finds her and he strikes a bargain with her. And he's like, if I rescue you now, he's like, can I come back for you in 5 years and take you to my homeland and essentially claim you, like to come back to my people? And she's like, yes, I'll do anything to live, like please. So he rescues her. He takes her back to her island. He helps her escape her husband. And essentially the next 5 years she spends essentially trying to divorce her gross husband, which she finally does get, and essentially pay off her debts with like all the like the lawyers in those situations in this like old medieval town or whatever. Sorry, it sounds very like grown up when you're saying lawyers and things, but like no, it's very much like a medieval like fantasy vibe. So essentially, the Siren Duke comes 6 months early to repay his debt and be like, hey, you got to come with me. And she's like, you're 6 months early. And he's like, don't care. I need you now. He brings her down to his homeland, which is essentially like Atlantis. It's not Atlantis, but you know what I mean.
I will find Atlantis on my own. I mean, if I have to rent a rowboat.
It's like, you know, the kingdom of the mer people. And essentially, she is going to be a human sacrifice to their god to essentially appease the oceans and like stop the distress that's happening in them. And so she knew this. She like was fully prepared to do this. But as she starts to get to know the Siren Duke, she starts to fall in love with him. And he's like, I don't want to sacrifice her. And so this whole book is essentially based off of like, obviously like the Siren, Mermaid, like that kind of thing. But then also it's also based off of kind of like Orpheus and Eurydice of like following each other into the underworld. And like, will they be able to follow each other? Or like, is she going to keep sinking deeper and deeper? Or is Orpheus going to go after her? Like, it's very romantic, very sweet. Like, I just absolutely loved this book. And I loved the tropes in it. And I loved the Siren Duke and Victoria's relationship. He was wonderful, absolutely amazing. So in love with him. This one is very romantic, very sexy, very fun. And I cannot recommend this one enough. Like, absolutely in love with this book. And if you're needing just some fun, cozy fantasy, get into the Married to Magic series, but also get into a duet with the Siren Duke. The second to last one I want to be recommending for you guys today is starting at a whopping 4.5 stars, an absolutely fabulous Siren book. We have To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. To Kill a Kingdom is one of my favorite Siren books. This is about a young woman, a Siren woman named Lyra. She is Siren royalty. She has captured the hearts of 17 princes, like literally has their hearts, has killed 17 princes. She is revered throughout all of Siren kind as like the human, the prince killer. She has 17 princes' hearts. Well, she commits an atrocity amongst her kingdom, and her queen, her sea queen, essentially banishes her and says, if you do not return with the prince Elan's heart, like on a stick by the winter solstice, you are going to be remaining a human forever. And she turns her into a human. So Prince Elan is a Siren hunter. It's his calling. It's all he lives to do. He rescues a drowning woman from the ocean. And that is Lyra. And Lyra essentially is like, oh, I can help you defeat all of Siren kind. Like, let me show you. And essentially she's going to get closer and closer and closer to him until she can take his heart. That's the plan anyway, until things go awry and these two start falling for one another. I absolutely live for like a Siren/Siren hunter, like fantasy duo. I love hunter and huntee, prey and predator. It's very primal. It's very evil. I love Lyra in this one because Lyra is extremely cutthroat. Like, she's a very cutthroat FMC. Like, this woman knows no bounds. She is like truly very cruel at times, and she's just very cutthroat. Like, she will go after what she wants, and nothing is going to get in her way until her heart starts to get softened by this man that she met, and like how much she actually ends up learning to care for him. I absolutely love this book. I think it's absolutely fabulous. It's a great example of the Siren trope and showing how vicious and cutthroat these creatures can be, but also that like at the end of the day, they're human too, and like how beautiful it is. And like, I just absolutely love this relationship. It's a fabulous book that I cannot recommend enough. So please go read To Kill a Kingdom. And the last, but certainly not least, my most favorite 5-star, maybe 6-star read of the year, guys. I truly cannot talk enough about how much I love this freaking book. We are obviously talking about In the Veins of the Drowning by Callie Cassidy. Callie Cassidy, I don't know who you are. I don't know what your story is. I don't know what your politics are, but I want to know every single thing about you and read every single thing you've ever written, because this is fabulous. This is fabulous. This is golden.
Uh-oh, somebody's fabulous!
This is Gothic Sirens to a T. This makes me believe in all sorts of things. This makes me believe in love and believe in happiness and paradise.
You believe in life after love, try and share.
Truly, this book is a masterpiece in Gothic Siren writing. It is fabulous. I cannot emphasize that enough. We have our young protagonist, Imogen, who is the ward of an evil king named Nemia. On this island, sirens are feared, they are killed, they are hunted, and Imogen has been living as a human, like hiding the fact that she's a siren for years in this kingdom, trapped in this kingdom under the ward of this evil king. Well, the king invites all these political people to come and see like his royal palace and whatever, and she meets King Theodore, or King Theo, And King Theo and her start to like talk, and she essentially propositions him to save her life. She's currently engaged to the captain of the guard, which is the captain of the Siren Hunters. She's engaged to him, and she begs Theo to essentially take her away from here to rescue her before her Siren Hunter husband can murder her and before the king kills her. And she essentially says the only way that you're going to allow this is if we strike a blood bond. And the blood bond essentially means that you are sworn to protect the other person. But there's some other perks that come with it too. It's supposed to be done in a romantic way, but between these two, it wasn't until they stopped denying their feelings for one another. Anyway, so Theo and Imogen essentially escape with this blood bond like barely intact, running for their lives, escaping, and essentially they have to figure out a way to get past this blood bond and to like stop a war from happening with like Nemia's people coming over to like attack his people. He's the king, he has duty and honor and things to like abide by, and he's like, Imogen is like selfish and she just wants to live. And I'm like, that is not selfish to want to live. And so these two people are so hard on each other. Imogen and Theo are so hard on each other this whole time, and yet they love each other. They can't stand each other for a moment, but yet they cannot be without each other. They need each other. They balance each other out. I love this version of Sirens where she talks about how her siren song is essentially like a lure that like takes these men and she sticks her lures in them, and then they collapse to the ground. And it's so powerful and it's so majestic and beautiful. I just love Imogen. I think she is a fabulous FMC because, again, my new favorite thing that I've been reading this year is these women who like are trying their best to be powerful, to be intimidating, to be scary, but they're really not. Like, they really don't know what they're doing, and they're just trying. Like, Imogen, like, does not know anything about her power. She's been denying herself for all these years, but she's gonna do her best. And she's also, like, I love the idea that she's like, I am a woman who's been cloistered inside a fallen kingdom for, like, my entire life. I have no skill set, but, like, I know that I want to live. I am desperate enough to live, and I will do whatever it takes to survive. And Theo, you know, like, sees that, and he and her just, like, have such great chemistry. It's beautiful. I adore him. Like, he is truly like a sight to behold, and I think about him all the time, day and night.
Every morning you wake up, I'll be there. Every night at dinner, I'll be there.
Incredible. Love him. I absolutely love this book. I cannot recommend it enough to put it at the top of everyone's TBR immediately. If you are looking for something gothic and romantic to read this fall, this is the book for you. Like, oh, could you imagine reading this in like September, October? Oh, truly delicious. This is delectable. You will eat it right up. You'll eat it. You'll read it so quick. It'll be unlike anything. I just absolutely love it. Cannot talk about it enough. 5 stars, 6 stars. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video on Mermaid Siren book recommendations. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Little Literature YouTube channel. Guys, if there's any book recommendations you want to recommend for me, please feel free to leave them down below in the comments. If there's any video ideas and things that you want to see on the channel, please feel free to comment those also down below. I'm always taking suggestions on new video ideas. I'm so looking forward to the fall. If there's any fall-themed videos you guys want me to do, I'm also looking forward to that. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and I love you guys the most, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!